Friday night, we're in Marboyles, we're drinking the Erdinger, we're having a fabulous time before Liverpool go to Bournemouth. Gutmann is beside himself, and the reason why is because there were injury updates. He loves an injury update. But it starts off with one injury update that happened in real time, Siobhan, which is when Mo Salah got injured and all of us lost our fucking minds.
The WhatsApp ripple was something, wasn't it? I think 2 people in the wider Merseyside area were watching that match. And then within maybe 45 seconds, everyone had seen that clip of him walking but limping off the field. But he was walking enough to take the armband back over, they say. So he walked down the tunnel, he smiled afterwards. I heard.
It was Emilia. The WhatsApp ripple was absolutely unbelievable. It really was the equivalent of someone threw a stone into a pond, and we're still feeling it now. It just got everyone's attention, and still no one knows really as to how he is. But it just caused such a mass panic.
It did, well, if 2 people in Merseyside were actually watching it, they were my husband and his baby. Both just sat on the sofa going, doesn't look good, this, doesn't look good. I came in from roller derby.
Dad, it doesn't look good.
Came in from roller derby to complete silence, and them both just staring gravely at the television screen, like looking pretty morose about it. But yeah,
did it look bad? Was there a lot of sadness on the screen?
I refused to engage with any media around it.
Salah looked really upset, yeah. I thought. Like when I didn't watch it in real time, but playing it back, he looked absolutely gutted.
You know that sad face he does?
That's not
like,
good.
like the Real Madrid sad face.
Do you remember when he won the Golden Boot, but we lost the league on the same day, and he got the Golden Boot, and that was the face?
He was like,
When everyone else Salah only cares about his own personal accolades, and then it's the saddest man you've ever seen holding a Golden Boot because Liverpool hadn't won the league.
He doesn't deal with disappointment well, does he?
He does not deal with disappointment.
He's not used to injury.
He doesn't often have to.
I mean, well, that's why I think it got everyone, Emilia, is that Salah doesn't get injured, and then there was this.
Although you said this on the pre-match warm-up, that Salah doesn't get injured, but he definitely does, and just keeps playing anyway. But Salah doesn't get injured in a way where you go, well, we haven't got Salah for 10 games now. We won't see Salah. Like actual proper, like he probably picks up little bits here and there, but I cannot remember a point where we've gone, well, we haven't got Salah for X amount of time, and that's a really scary reality to live with.
Surely we're not, we don't know whether we're in that zone yet.
We're not in that zone.
Ian said they don't know how, they don't think it's disastrous.
I'm kicking out. No, like, and
And no one can see your ankles.
No one can, I made sure no one, if you can see my ankles right in, someone's getting sacked.
Dinner contract.
I didn't do my tan, okay? There was this like, oh, but the Egypt manager was very relaxed about it. Well, he's going to fuck me, isn't he?
Because he gets to send him back, yeah. He's going, oh, I didn't break him, honestly.
Are you not out anyway now, or nearly out, or what?
He used the term, I hope it's not too dangerous.
Dangerous was the word he used, wasn't it?
He seemed really chilled about it, made excuses about whatever. There is a scenario where this is the sweetest injury. This is halfway between this is the sweetest injury and it's a living hell.
Because it means he won't have to play the
Because if he's torn his hamstring, right, it's a grade 3 tear. Like, if he's out for 3 months. Yeah. But if it's just a little cheeky one, like Trent seems to be, we'll come on to that, but a cheeky one, he could just be out long enough to miss this tournament. And he comes back bouncing and fresh and reborn.
I think that's overly optimistic.
Missing games is good for us.
There's a chance it's not that bad. He doesn't have to play the rest of AFCON and then
he's injured on their time. People shouldn't lose sight of this. And there was another.
My worry is they ask him to go again Monday and he's not 100%.
I'm worried about this. Surely he says. Surely tells him to do one. I mean, there's big fish to fry here. I mean, I know he's a proud nationalist and wants to do well for his country. But at the end of the day, there's a big season to play here. I'd like
some shit that really matters is your point, and I'm with you 100%. By the way, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah. And I think that now when they've had a disappointing start to the campaign is not the time for them to be going, right, let's risk it.
It's not like he's going, well, we're gonna win it, and I'm going to push myself to do it. No, that's
We've been great so far. No. You
can't lose you because you're the linchpin of this.
You didn't beat Mozambique. You went behind twice against Ghana.
It's not the final coming up.
Let's manage all of our expectations here. You're crap. Cape Verde are good. Sorry about this, Egypt, but we're all going to grow and you can share in our victories over the course of the campaign. Our Egyptian friends. Rightly so. Fuck it. That's a plan. We've got that all worked out. You were very excited by all the other injury chat, weren't you, today? You lost your mind. You messaged me.
My glass of Erdinger was half full.
It was.
It still is.
It still is. It's still half full. It won't be soon. Well, amidst the sort of the gloom around Salah, Klopp did quietly. They asked him for an update about Szoboszlai, Trent, Robertson, and Tsimikas, I think, and he went, "Oh, none of them available for Bournemouth. I mean, it could all be back for Fulham. I'm not sure." You said, but what? He went.
It's a big Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, but he did say they should all be back in full training next week. Now, yeah, that is what I. No, the most interesting one is Trent, who had all but been ruled out for a solid 3 weeks, which made Chelsea the best case scenario, I think. And for him to be back in contention, for them to be able to, I suspect bench against Fulham might be best case. I don't know.
I think everyone's getting managed.
But I thought that with Trent, that was expectation management when we were told about the kind of worst case scenario of it. I didn't sense that it was ever going to be that bad, but it was kind of going, here's the worst that you're possibly going to have to deal with, so you're all absolutely made up when that isn't the case, because by the way, we're not signing anyone.
Did we not all see the wink wink nudge nudge when Trent was out till Chelsea, out till Arsenal?
That's the page I was on.
Yeah.
I was
didn't
always.
see this.
Yeah, Rob didn't like it.
But I don't like
it. You don't like an injury. You hate an injury.
I hate
They fucking break your soul.
It's still the worst thing in my life. I think on my deathbed, I did go. You know, what are your successes, your failures? But what's upset me the most has been Liverpool
Which
injuries.
one? Which one are you picking?
No, but all of them. No, he
Do you know what?
What's the worst one on your deathbed?
Not the worst.
Which
you know
one
what
did you
sticks in
think
the
it
mind?
was?
I remember the most random one that I still remember. Michael Thomas in '92. We just signed him, right?
Right, this is insane.
I know. We just signed Michael Thomas.
You were born.
This is deathbed shit.
And I'd seen him play, and I was really excited by that signing. I mean, he was our nemesis. He'd scored the goal, but I also knew he was a good footballer. We were having a wretched season. We'd signed him. It seemed like some sort of. He was the hope.
He was going to save the day.
He was going to save the day. He'd had a couple of good games. I think a good debut. I think he'd slotted in a cup tie to win against Villa at Anfield. So I was really. And then I think after that game, news is out. Michael Thomas is out for like a month with a hamstring, and I was just so crushed by it. Do you know what I mean?
And you've not grown emotionally
no,
since then.
No. An injury to a new signing is the worst injury.
Yeah.
I think Didier Mann got one in his second game. They ruled him out for 2-3 months. Awful. It's just so horrible. Like that Trent one kicked me in the pants. We've beaten Arsenal away. We've beaten Newcastle. Played our best performance of the season. We're top of the league. We're flying. Here's your new best. Well, you're one of your best players. Nearest down, he's out.
And yet me and Siobhan saw the wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Where was the wink and the nudge? Maybe I just read it.
Maybe our WhatsApp ripple didn't make it to it.
I also what I like is that where injuries are concerned, winks and nudges are doing they're cutting no ice with
No.
they're cutting no ice.
You're an injury positivist. You almost go as far as being a conspiracy theory on all of them goes. You know, they say Matip's Cruciate's lost. I think Matip's actually spying in Russia or something, and he'll be back sooner than you think. They've got a job for him to do. I don't know. Yeah, but with Liverpool, it feels like under Klopp. Klopp's a cheery soul, right?
Yeah.
He said something really illuminating in today's press conference, which I don't think I've ever heard him quite say explicitly. They asked him about the phenomenon of Liverpool conceding first in games. Now, we're not doing that as often. And he went, I don't want to talk about that. I don't like to talk about negative things. I thought, what? I thought, that's a good thing. But you've never put it like that. You've always just been argumentative. Like if they're going, conceded a lot of goals, he goes, yeah, but blah, 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 blah. But he actually went, I don't want to talk about negative. It's almost like he doesn't want to let the negativity in, which is interesting psychologically. And I think that plays into how he talks about injuries and why we perceive he's overly optimistic.
Yeah.
And I relate to that.
That's
I don't have a philosophy about it, but I don't like to let the negative in. It's destructive.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yes,
Sorry.
here you are.
Without being a big hippie.
Saying I will
Well,
take
I'm
this to
not.
my deathbed, yeah.
Well,
it's not good for the players either, though.
Sometimes I do like the crying, where you price in the worst case scenario. I do think pricing in the worst case scenario and working backwards from it is a good way to live life.
In a minute, we're going to maybe do some more psychoanalysis. And also, we're going to talk about Bournemouth back in a second.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop!
Don't forget the best bit.
welcome back. The biggest game of our lives on Sunday. You excited?
Sorry, repeat the first bit again.
The biggest game of our lives on Sunday.
I read it on the agenda and I didn't think I'd be hearing it out loud. Yeah, no, it is.
It's the biggest game in our history.
It is. It's,
Oh, yeah.
It's pinnacle. Forget Michael Thomas, forget this, forget that, it's this. Yeah, it's like, it feels weird to be a little bit out of rhythm and to be potentially getting players back or not back at just not quite the right time. I'm looking forward to going again, but I am a bit worried because Bournemouth aren't really, they're no mugs anymore, are they? The goods, yeah. And it just feels like we've had a little bit too long without seeing players get rhythm, particularly with the layoffs that we're seeing. I don't know, I'm like nervous, but
I'm nervous.
But I'm confident we'll find a way. I don't think it'll be pretty. Yeah, what am I going to say?
I'm prone to nervousness. I can talk myself into Norwich in the FA Cup being a trickier fixture than some might imagine. But
I don't care if we live or die against Norwich in the FA Cup, whereas this means everything.
I reminded myself today that we're on superb form, and we really are. We battered West Ham with an exceptional performance in the League Cup semi-final, quarter-final, sorry. We were good against Burnley, better than the scoreline or the anxiety suggested. Brilliant against Newcastle. And with a weakened team, incredible to achieve what we achieved against Arsenal. And we're top of the league. We are some team at the moment. And I've been listening to our own shows, and people are still waiting for us to play well. No, we're not waiting for us to play well. We're really playing well. We're playing really, really well. And I know Bournemouth are good, but then if we drew the European equivalent of Bournemouth in Europe, which would be like maybe a Seville, I'd be nervy, but I don't, unless we're playing in the form we're in. The form we're in, of course it can go wrong. And if we were playing like we were at times last season, you go, we've got reason to be nervy. This is it's not a banana skin, this is a nightmare. I feel very confident. And I might have egg on my face, but I feel very confident.
And let's have it right. We're only nervous because City came back against Newcastle. That's the only reason I think this is why
I'm sorry that they won. I don't give a fuck how they won.
But no, I do think the how matters.
It doesn't to me.
It might not, but I do think that for people, I think that matters.
It does, yeah.
Because they seem fallible for just a minute, and then all of a sudden we realised they weren't. I still think they are, but that's why everyone's so nervous. And I had to counsel my fella. I had to reassure him nothing's changed. The ask has not changed in the slightest. We knew this was going to happen, so let's just crack on. And he's all of a sudden doomed that we're going to finish 7th.
I'm glad he's got you in these difficult times.
There's a ray of light now.
In these difficult times. Are you nervous, not nervous?
So I was more nervous after listening to the pre-match warm-up than I had been, because I think I was worried about we need rhythm and the timing and the injuries and whatever, kind of not quite, this fixture not falling quite at the right time for us. But was thinking of it in the context of, while, yeah, you're right, Bournemouth are no mugs, they're thinking, fucking hell, like we're playing them, they're top of the league. And they're doing it, and they're doing it at a time where they've got injuries and suspensions and things aren't exactly ideal for them at the minute, so they're probably not even entirely sure.
They've got people at AFCON as well. We've got to remember that. It's not just us, they've got people at the
We're not singly affected by that.
I'll tell you in a minute, Rob, we'll keep going.
But I think, like, for them, they're not going into this going, we're in the best position we can possibly be on, an incredible run of form, and we're going up against a side that we know we can get one over on. It's that they're going up against us in this incredible run of form, and they will be much more nervous than we are, as they should be. I think the only reason I'm nervous is just the timing of it, in terms of injuries, and we need rhythm.
Emilia, it's this mad game on an island. That's another reason. For me, it's almost like its own thing. We haven't played a league game for 20 days. We don't play another league game for 10 days. And the reason why I'm nervous is maybe even the wrong way to frame it. The reason why I think it's sort of so important is the extent to which I think it's just one you get through. And you've just got to get through it, get the other side of it, with everything being exactly the same as it was before it started. And that's the next thing as well. And that's what I want to say. I just want to say is get through it and get the other side of it.
Yeah, and that's why I understand that you're being not sarcastic, but I guess it's with a knowing, like, I'm exaggerating here and saying it's the most important game of our lives, in that this fixture itself isn't something we need to be worried about, but it's where it comes in this campaign, and it's what it might mean if it doesn't go our way for the rest of the campaign. And I think that's why
there's a lot to carry if we don't get a result. We don't get to get an opportunity to clear the decks of it. Even though we've got the cup games, we don't get to clear the decks of it until Chelsea. I feel a bit like we might need to just accept that we might only get a point at Arsenal. So we can't throw away cheap points in this one. This frees us up to relax about Arsenal hustle a bit.
Yeah, and I think that giving cheap points away decides where you absolutely shouldn't be doing so is something that we've known ourselves to do at a point where we're on an incredible run of form where you just think that's really fucking stupid. That's a really stupid way to throw away a league title, and that's what we don't want to do this weekend.
I think we, as a fan base as well, rightfully so, we've got an obsession with things being in our hands, and I know that the City game means that it's still technically in our hands, but it's comfortably in our hands if we can keep that gap until that City game.
Yeah.
And then we can start getting excited. I feel like there's a widespread kind of agreement that we'll get excited after City at
March,
home.
mid-March, and the manager said that himself.
Yeah.
So they haven't got their best centre-half partnerships in SE suspended. Other centre-halves are injured. So they played Chris Mepham last week at QPR. They were 2-0 down at half-time and subbed Mepham off. And they've got no other centre-halves. The left-back situation, Kirkes was playing for them, he got injured. Lloyd Kelly's done stuff there, he's injured. Kirkes, they might rush him back, but he's not 100% fit. They were playing Uatra there, who was one of their wingers, but he's gone to the African Cup of Nations, so they haven't got him as an option. So what they might do is play Adam Smith on that side and Max Aarons on the other. But Adam Smith is very much a right-back, and he's also coming back from an injury. So they're quite depleted on that. And also the other centre-half issue, the centre-half they're missing is the one who plays on the left-hand side. So they're depleted down that
Are
side.
their forwards all intact?
Well, they're missing...
the winger.
Semenyo's he's also gone to AFCON. And as I say, Uatra's another one they use. They'll play Clive there, Tavernier, Solanke, and they'll probably have... Which one of them? Well, the Bournemouth fella I spoke to thought he'd pick Scott, Christie and Cook. So he'd pick all three of them and then have a couple of moves off the bench. So they're a bit depleted in terms of having options from the bench, and they're very depleted on the left-hand side of the defence, or not fully fit, or playing a kid.
They're shipping goals, right? They're a threat. We need to defend them properly because they're lively.
They're a good attacking outfit.
Yeah, right. So we need to defend them properly, but they're shipping goals. And I think part of the issue is why we're scared. And in a way, I'm more concerned about playing a team like Chelsea at home. And everyone go, ha, Chelsea.
I'm also concerned about Chelsea at home, but that's a separate thing.
People go, Chelsea. But you go, the big teams and the big games, the big clubs find themselves, their identity. Well, they're a danger that can happen. It's 50-50 that happens. And then you've got a real game on your hands. We're scared to go at Bournemouth because we know we should beat Bournemouth. I haven't looked at the bookies' odds, but I bet you we're odds on.
We are.
So for all the fear, we're going to be, I'm going to guess we're 63% on to win this game. So for all their 7 wins in the last 9 in all competitions, that's really how the people who can analyse.
And we won there as well recently, in the wind and the rain.
Yeah, we did, yeah. I was concerned about how depleted we'll be, but the more I started to pick a side, I know you want us to pick a side at some point, the more I thought we've got a lot of good footballers and they're really, really good, even despite the ones not playing. So as I said, I'm quietly confident. I suppose, thinking ourselves, if it goes awry, can we pick ourselves up? Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can, of course we can.
It puts pressure on beating a Chelsea. And whereas you'd say against Chelsea and Arsenal, would you take 4 points now? Would you take 7 from Bournemouth, Chelsea and Arsenal? Yeah, I'd take 7 from Bournemouth, Chelsea and Arsenal. If we drop the points against Bournemouth, then I really want us to beat Chelsea and Arsenal to feel confident again. So that's where we are.
We don't lose very often.
No, let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. Liverpool are good at not getting beat.
Yeah.
Which is a hell of a place to be.
Tests lie ahead in these 3 games.
Yeah. They do indeed. Are they going to win despite any nervousness or questions?
They are, but I think I agree with Siobhan. It's going to be a dogged one and a bit of a slog, and I'm going to leave it not feeling particularly great.
Okay.
No bad way to win, and I think we'll win.
No bad way to win. That's a nice way to think about it, Rob.
A lot of Gutmann lessons for life on this show.
No, in this particular one. There is.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, generally there's no bad way to win.
No, there's no bad way to win.
Yeah, no, there isn't. You're right.
You got no bad way to win?
No bad way to win. I'd go for a walk though, if it's not. I like to just go for a soothing walk if it's not going.
Like a half time or?
Yeah, like a
I'm intrigued
10
by this
minutes,
walk.
just like might be around the house, it might go fold some clothes, go for a walk around the block, go to the shop, find something we haven't got, just to get away. Just put it, that's not my job.
Larry, we need
just to punctuate the time, to just remove change it up a little bit,
Yeah.
There you are. It's Friday night. Go for a walk. If in doubt, break it up, change it, make it different. Do whatever you need to do. Get through Bournemouth. There's no bad way to win. I also think Liverpool will win. In my head is Wolves away in December of 2018, when there was a big test for Liverpool. There was a hell of a lot of weather, and Liverpool turned up and they were deadly serious and they won 2-0. See you later.